now that we're all like wearing masks and stuff, I see a lot of people and they've all got like, designs and stuff on their masks, and it's really, really cool, but like I have absolutely no idea where to buy any of that stuff. Like when I went and got my one, I was just a boring, like, I don't know if this is an adage you guys have heard, but the adage that like all Melburnians wear black.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, I can attest to that.
Okay. Yeah. So like I didn't even realize it until like, I started seeing some like wild mask designs, and I look at mine, I'm like, oh, I just bought a black mask. Like it's just boring and like, okay, I couldn't help myself. But like I've seen some really, really, really cool ones. Like Dave has a really cool one. He's got a like a Dragon Ball Z themed one, which I don't think I could personally pull off, but it's pretty cool. Like I really like it. But
it scares the living shit out of me whenever I see a picture of it. So I'm like,
Really?
I wasn't expecting that. Yes, I don't know why. It messes with me so much.
Oh man, that's awesome. But see, like, and the thing is for me, like, all that stuff's really, really cool. But I absolutely not where are people getting all of these from? Because I want one. I don't want that one specifically, but like I want one in the proverbial sense.
I was gonna say, surprisingly enough, a lot of them are coming from those, like Instagram when you got like ads for stuff, and just because it's an ad on Instagram, it kind of looks dodgy.
Oh yeah.
Most of those are actually like pretty legit now. So a lot of people are getting them from there. A lot of people are getting them from Etsy. And a lot of people in Melbourne, especially, are just making masks out of old clothing or whatever's fabric is lying around the house, because there's an easy template you can grab off the line, and then you just need a bit of elastic for the straps, and you're done. My roommate has made a couple for us. So yeah, it's not that hard to like find something that you like enough to keep it, but also enough to chop it up, whack some bands on it, and there you go. You've got yourself a custom fancy face mask.
Ooh, yeah. Oh, that's an idea, because I've got some old shirts that like do not fit me anymore. I've even got some shirts I've actually never worn. Like I've got shirts from family members who were like, who thought a little more highly of my girth than reality actually speaks to. So I've got shirts there that I've never fit into. So it's not like I don't have the materials. Yeah, it's just I don't have a sewing machine. It's the only thing. Like I'm a hand stitcher.
Yeah, well, you don't really need a sewing machine as long as you've got like just the time to just do it by hand. And yeah, just get your hands on some like little bits of elastic to whack around your ears. My issue is, of course, wearing glasses. Every mask that isn't like one with the proper like steel across the bridge of your nose that you can bend, it just goes straight up into my glasses. And it's just how
I can no longer wear sunglasses when I'm out for a walk. As a European person, I sneeze whenever I look at the sun. So, like I'm walking around my local streets wearing a mask, squinting, and just sneezing constantly into my mask, and it's terrible.
And everyone's just looking at you just like, she got the Rona. Why is she outside?
Yeah, it's actually a benefit because people tend to, just cross the street, which is great for me.
Yeah, I found the sunglasses thing. I can't wear sunglasses anymore, but not because of the fogging up. Like, I mean, it annoys me, but I can kind of put up with that. The problem is when I put the mask on and then I put the glasses on, and then I'm a bigger boy. I got a bigger frame and broad shoulders and stuff. I just kind of like my face just completely disappears. So all I am is a forehead and a beard, and like I look like I'm fixing to like rob a bank. And it gets reflected as I'm like on my way to the shops, and I'm listening to like even though I'm bopping away to Hamilton as I'm walking to Woolies, everybody's looking at me like that guy is gonna straight up murder me if I come within 1.5 meters of him. So I'm just gonna like
a Rorschach vibe from Watchmen, like your entire face is covered in just a pair of sunglasses.
Pretty much, yeah. You know what? Yeah, Rorschach from the Watchmen is actually a perfect that's kind of how I feel, but less. I don't feel badass. I feel like, I feel bad because I know I look intimidating and I don't want to be, but that's just that's just the shape of me. I'm a big boy, and like we're kind of scary looking units, and so I can't help that, but like I got to do this. So I've just stopped wearing sunglasses, and I've just like put up with the fact that the sun's in my eyes, and so I just walk around squinting everywhere. Which I don't know. I mean, especially, in my neighborhood, I don't know if people look at me and go, is he being racist or is the sun just in his eyes? So yeah, that ends up being, but see, then they end up looking at me going, I wonder which it is, but they're not scared of me. Then I become a curiosity and not something to be frightened of.
You kind of get the head tilt instead of the suspicious look.
Exactly. And it's sort of like when you got to pick between one and the other, I'd rather be a curiosity than something that's intimidating. So I'm pretty good for that.
Yeah. Well, one place that I've always liked looking for masks is a site called Redbubble.
Redbubble.
Because
Okay.
they have a bunch of random designs on there, but I particularly enjoy that website because it has the mask that I really want, which is a mask that is covered with the face of our beautiful Chief Health Officer, Brett Sutton. And I want it. A beautiful, beautiful man. And it comes in multiple styles. You can get it on a cushion. You can get it on a mask. You can get it on a tuna. You can get it on a canvas to stick on your wall. Like, it is amazing.
Oh my god. I didn't even think about, that's a wicked design. Oh my god, that'd be wild. All right, yeah.
I'll find it and I'll stick it in the Discord so then you guys can live react to the face of Brett Sutton on a face mask.
Yeah. Please do.
Is there also a Dan Andrews one? Because I would buy that.
That was my thought. I want a Dan Andrews one.
Yeah.
Actually, scratch that. I don't want a Dan Andrews one. I want to buy one for Dan Andrews of a Dan Andrews one. That's what I want to do.
Just of his mouth?
No, of his face.
Boys.
Of his whole face.
His whole face. Yo, dog, we heard you like your face, so we put your face on your face.
Oh, so that's cute.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I like that. See, now one of those with Dan Andrews. Actually, oh my god, you know what Dan needs? He needs one with like the Victorian government logo on it or something. I reckon that'd look pretty wicked.
Yeah, like was it brought to you by the Victorian government?
Yeah.
Melbourne?
Yeah. Oh my god, that's what he. You know what? You know that black screen at the end of political ads where it's like the guy talks at 1,000,000 miles an hour. That on a face mask. That's what he needs.
That on a face mask.
I typed in Dan Andrews into Redbubble, and the majority of them are masks that say "I want you to get on the beers" and a picture of his face.
Fair enough. That is honestly, like, of all the memes that come out of coronavirus, that the Dan Andrews get on the beers one has by far been my favorite.
There we go.
It is. Yeah, there it is.
Good on this rabbit hole, I love this.
I want you to get on the beers.
I need that. I need that.
That's wicked.
Oh, there's an alternative style that is more clear.
Dude,
I'd get this one because it's white and you can see clearly that it says "Get on the beers."
Oh, that's nicer. Yeah, see, that's got it. Yeah, I like that more because it fits.
Classy.
It fits the shape better. Like the other one is clearly a poster that has been put on a mask, where the other one is like, this is designed with the mask in mind.
So, mask pro tip to anyone out there in Melbourne who wants a cool new mask: we should all unite and post the "Get on the beers" Dan Andrews mask.
Yeah.
And then when this is over, he'll come out and have a beer with everyone.
Dude.
Stand in the middle of Federation Square and we'll all raise a beer with Dan Andrews.
Honestly, if there's anyone that deserves one after all this, it's him.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it is by far and away one of the best memes. It could easily be meme of the year.
It is my meme of the year. I'm already calling it. It is my favorite thing ever to exist this year.
Hopefully by the end of this year we can actually do that, but we'll see.
Oh wow, and it's pretty cheap too. Okay. All right. Yeah, that's a good price.
Yeah, good prices as well. So guys, if you want to get on the beers mask bandwagon, I'm not gonna set you out of pocket that much.
So, I've heard of Redbubble because they do like custom shirts and stuff. Should we make a Pint Party one? Because I could do that. Would anybody want Pint Party on a mask?
Would it be bright yellow?
Yeah. Because here's the thing, right? Because like I got the black mask again because I was a Melburnian, and then that's why I want to get a different mask design because I want one that like is kind of more disarming, like a little more less intimidating. And I thought about getting like a hot pink mask or something. Because then you look at me and you go, he's a big scary dude wearing a bright pink mask, and it's kind of a bit more Aussie, like larrikin-y funny than intimidating. It's like calling a big guy tiny. Yeah, I mean, but like, I think a Pint Party one would be good. If I'm going to put something on my face, now don't get me wrong, telling people to get on the beers is a message that Pint Party can stand behind. 100%.
I agree.
100%. That is a message we can stand behind. But I'm like, now that I'm looking at it and you've got the gears turning in my head, it's like, well, if I'm putting a billboard on my face, I'm going to promote myself. Why not?
Self-promotion is the best type of promotion.
Yeah. Why not tell people like, hey, this is put Pint Party on it. It's like people putting Nike on masks.
I want to know
and
if I'm actually squinting or am I trying to be racist? Find out on Pint Party.
Yeah. Is the sun in my eyes or am I just racist? Tune in to Pint Party.
And you'll find out.
I tell you what.
And each week you have a new mask with a new question.
That would get really expensive really quick. I don't think I could do that.
I know it would. I would. But if we ever get to that point where we're a mask all the time.
Oh, if I had Jeff Bezos money, I would absolutely do that.
Yeah,
for sure.
Absolutely, 100%.
Mm-hmm,
Ask me anything, and then find out on Pint Party what the answer is.
Yeah, in fact, but I'd also do special questions in reverse where like people could ask questions on Pint Party, but then in order to get the answer, they would have to read my face mask.
That's some proper guerrilla marketing right there.
Yeah. That'd be like super meta. You know what I mean? Like,
it would need to be quite big though to show that you're maintaining the 1.5 meter distance.
Well, I mean, see, when you got Jeff Bezos money, you can like hand people complimentary, magnifying glasses and things so they can view the text.
Telescope.
Yeah, exactly. Right. So they can maintain their social distancing and stuff like that. Cause yeah, absolutely. But I'll tell you what, one of my favorite mask designs, and like, there's no way that I could get this made, but like, I just really admired the mask design is the masks that like senior White House staffers are wearing. Have you seen those where it's like, it's a navy blue mask and then in the corner, it's got the seal of the President of the United States. Have you seen that?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, wait, I have seen that.
It looks really good. Am I the only one who thinks this? Like, it's a really good looking design.
Oh, it is. It is.
It looks bad. None of them really want to wear them.
I know that, but that's why I'm like, that looks so fucking sick. Like, especially because the seal as well. It's not just like if you when you look at the seal, it's like it's white with the green leaves and the brown bald eagle and stuff like that. But like this one, it's a monocolor gold logo version of the logo on a navy blue face mask. I'm like, that's so cool. I want one. But you can't buy them because it's illegal to sell things with the seal of the president on it. And like
along that vein, I actually had this thought earlier in the week. And I was thinking about, for some reason, I was really bored, and I'm going, okay, so politicians are wearing masks, and they tend to always be the same color as their suit. In, like, the Secret Service, they would logically always be wearing, like, a bulletproof something. Is there such thing as a bulletproof mask to match that bulletproof vest?
Sure you get one made out of Kevlar. It wouldn't be too hard. Kevlar is relatively
flexible. Because that would be so cool.
I mean, the thing...
And it just has like, like how cops and that have like that big Velcro strip across the front, just says like SWAT or, whatever. Just have like the big Velcro strip across the front of the mask and just like whack Secret Service on it or something.
Well, they've got their own little logo. So like they can have, because you see them with the little badge with a star on it, they could put that on the mask. And it'd look...
Oh, yeah, true.
System.
Yeah.
Perfect system.
Yeah.
But then if you've got your badge on the front of your mask, then everyone's going to know your Secret Service.
Yeah. I mean, when you're standing next to when there's like 40 of you standing next to the president, it's pretty fucking obvious who you are.
They need a better name.
They
honestly.
really do.
They're not very
really
secret.
A Secret Service because everyone knows.
They should be obvious service.
Yeah,
they're right next to the president.
Yeah,
their job is to protect him.
But they also do more than protect the president. They also handle like money fraud and stuff like that, like counterfeiting and things like that. That's a big part of it.
Should they just be called the service?
Yeah, just because I know like another part of their job is they have to continually follow around previous presidents until that president passes away.
Yeah.
So if you're the president, you get protection for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
Which is pretty rad.
Yeah.
To be honest. But yeah, like so. I wonder who like draws that straw. Like you're at the office, and it's about to be like the changeover between a president and another. And like everyone's sitting there and they're just like, all right, new president. Need you to follow around the old guy for the rest of his life. And that guy's just sitting there like, you fucking serious right now? So and whenever he goes on vacation or wherever, he's just got to like tag along with his bags and his gun, and he's just like, yep, all right, he's going to fucking Venice again. I guess I'm going to Venice, which I suppose wouldn't be too bad, but at the same time, it wouldn't be very exciting.
I feel like though the person who's following around Obama would go get a coffee and then just buy that guy a coffee.
Yeah, that wouldn't be too bad. But like, have you
that'd be alright.
From what I've seen on like Obama's socials since he left office, like he's spending a lot of time at like the lake and just like skiing and what have you. And like, what does that guy do while Obama's on the boat? Because he's not on the boat with him, but he's just like on the shore, just
camouflages himself so he's on the side of the boat.
Maybe, or he's like
no one will ever know he's there.
Or he's like just on the beach in a ghillie suit, just like with a sniper rifle, just like scoping out anybody that might want to kill him, and everyone just like on the beach is like, why is this guy in a ghillie suit? Ghillie suits are for the fucking forest.
Again, the worst secret service member. They're like, all right.
And he's like, okay, there is a sitcom in this. I'm telling you right now, like there is the poor bloke that has to follow around like the most boring president post his term in office, and just like wants there to be excitement, and there never is. And he's just constantly like fully armed to the teeth, ghillie suit, and the dude just going.
He hires a hitman to kill the president, so he has the chance to kill a hitman.
Just so he's got something to do. That's like that's the season 1 finale. We're mapping this out.
The ultimate, the new like CBS pilot show.
Yeah. Like, there's no TV on right now. Well, there's no new TV getting made, which everyone's waiting for that. Like, there's gonna be this like trough, because right now everything getting released has like been filmed and post-production in like the last year. Same with movies, and there's gonna be like, at least with movies, they're holding them all back, but with TV, they can just put them out because it's TV, and they reckon in about probably like start of next year, when like the new season kicks off in America, there is going to be this trough of like, we've run out of shit that we've already shot. We can't shoot anything else. What are we going to put out? And I'm really worried it's going to be this absolute glut of just terrible reality shows based around being on Zoom the entire time, which is just going to do my head in.
There's already a show being made. I think
I know.
On like a streaming about like a scripted show with celebrities about dating during coronavirus.
Yeah.
That is ridiculous.
That does not shock me at all.
Oh my god, The Bachelor Rona edition? Holy shit. I would actually tune in for that. Like 100%.
Just go on Zoom dates constantly.
Yeah. I would actually tune in for that.
There's really awkward like chocolate bath dates that people would have to force themselves to watch.
Yeah. My favorite would be the rose ceremony, and all he does is just like close the Zoom window of everyone he gets rid of.
Or he sends you the rose in the mail, so you gotta wait like 3 weeks.
No, because there's no touching. No, he just sends you a rose emoji in chat.
I was about to say, just send you an emoji through Zoom chat. And then to the ones he doesn't choose, he sends that emoji of like the guy like crossing his arms in front of his face, just like
no,
no, not you.
Get out.
And with that, welcome to Pint Party, a podcast designed to turn a beer and a chat into a tax write-off. I'm your host, John McLeish, and joining me this week is one quarter of the gimmick gang, Ricki Needs. Welcome.
Hey.
And joining us once again, sooner rather than later, which is always preferred, the prodigal daughter herself, JJ. JJ, welcome.
Thank you, John.
Also, I had a thought.
I always love my introduction. It makes me feel so important.
Yeah, well, yeah, you always get your own introduction, of course. Yeah. But I was thinking about like how to rebrand the Secret Service, and I feel like the name has just stuck. It's sort of like it doesn't make sense anymore, but it's stuck. So maybe instead of amending the name, what if we just added a tagline to it? And here's my pitch for the tagline.
Okay.
We call them the Secret Service. We're the dudes who protect the dudes and the dudes on the dollar bills.
It's a lot of dudes.
There's a lot of dudes. Or we could say we're the dudes who protect the dollar bills and the dudes on those dollar bills. There we go. How about that? I just removed the words around.
Well, we're the dudes who protect the dollar dudes.
Yeah. Actually, you know what?
Yes.
There you go. Yeah. We protect the dollar bill dudes. Yeah. There you go.
It's not bad.
Well, because like that is specific enough to know what their job is, but also vague enough for the description to be like of the dollar bill dude.
Exactly.
Vague.
Yeah. It offers.
So many avenues there.
Yeah. I mean, and it's not just dollar bills they're in charge of. You know, there's a $5, $10, $20, $50, and $100 bill, of course. And not every one of them was a president. I mean, Hamilton's on the $10 bill, and he was never president. But like, if you say dead presidents on bills, people go, oh yeah, right. Okay, they look after presidents and they look after the money. Like that makes sense. So yeah, that's. I think that's a good little tagline we can tack on. And of course, they don't have to have that on everything, but like, I feel like you could put that on a mug.
Or on their masks.
You could just have like...
We protect the dollar bill dudes.
That can be on their mask. Absolutely. There you go. Absolutely. And way
and more interesting than just the Secret Service symbol. Provide some variety. Shake things up after like, I don't know how long the Secret Service has been around, like 100 years? I don't know.
When was the Secret Service formed? I think it was actually formed after... Ooh, that's a good question.
I'll Google it.
If I'm not okay, I'm going to take a guess before you say. I think...
Go.
Because I know it was in response to an assassination, but I can't remember which one. Because there's been a few. It was before JFK, because the Secret Service were there for that one. So it's before the 60s. I think it might have been even pre-World War II. So...
Would it have been after Lincoln?
It could have been after Lincoln, but I feel like that's just too obvious. It might not have been after. It might have been after Lincoln, but like, yeah, I think it might have. I think it was after Lincoln.
I'm on the Secret Service website.
How did you find it?
I googled when the Secret Service formed.
JJ's got those.
The Secret Service, my God, dug up.
It's one of those little known facts about JJ. She's got like mad hacker skills. Like she's just like, oh, I just Googled it. But what she doesn't tell you is she cracked Google's server and through it found a backdoor into a government database. And now she's just given us the results.
But I don't want everyone to know.
Sorry, I just blew up your spot.
He's blew up. You ruined everything. Okay, so the Secret Service Division was formed on July the 5th, 1865.
That sounds
like after Lincoln.
Well, the Secret Service was originally founded to combat the then widespread counterfeiting of U.S. currency. But in 1901, the agency was asked to begin its protective mission after the assassination of President William McKinley, the third sitting U.S. president to be assassinated.
Oh, okay. Hang on. What year did you say?
1901.
Oh, okay. Right. Okay. Yeah, because, Lincoln was 1865, so...
Yeah, so it was formed the same year. So Lincoln was killed the same year it was formed, but their mission wasn't to protect; it was to stop.
So he got killed. They had this thing called the Secret Service, and they were like, "Nah, we're fine. We'll just keep."
They're like, "Nah, this is we do fraud. We don't do assassinations."
Yeah. It wasn't even that. It was a couple months later because it was 15th of April that Lincoln was shot, and then like 2 months later. April, May, June, July. 3 months later, they go, okay, after Independence Day as well. So like you're thinking about presidents and stuff.
Yeah.
And they're like, all right, we're going to do this thing. And we're going to call it the Secret Service because there's too much of this counterfeiting going on. We got to deal with that. And they're like, mate, we just buried a president. Like, do we want to make sure that doesn't happen again? Well, who do you want to protect? Do you want to protect the living presidents or the dead presidents on the bits of paper? What's more important? Oh, it's a good point. Dead presidents for sure. Yeah, right. And then 40 years later, they're like, you know what? How about we deal with the living ones as well?
So after another president fucking dies in office.
Yeah. Oh my God.
So somehow I was right by guessing it was after Lincoln, but I was still wrong.
Yeah. Like I said, I knew it was after an assassination because there's been a few.
Yeah. God damn it! I'm just trying to look because
there has been a few. Yeah.
Yeah, the Secret Service having their own website is really dumb because they're called the Secret Service.
Because when you click on their homepage, it says they have the tabs on the top are like the basic bitch, contact, join, press and media, about, but then there's protection and investigation. So they're specifically telling you what they investigate. Investigative mission. You can submit counterfeit, and you can contact them about investigating.
I mean,
These
when you
guys
think
aren't
about
good
it,
at being very secret.
yeah, I know. There's nothing really like secretive about it, but like when you think about it as well, it's sort of like it kind of makes sense. Like who's got the actual cash in their pocket? It's the ordinary people. So you need to offer them a phone number to call up and be like, "Hello, Secret Service. Yeah, I got $1 bill." And like it doesn't have a president on it. It's just got a picture. It's a stick figure picture that says "I'm president." I think it's a counterfeit. Can you like take it and deal with it? So yeah, for sure. I think that's something that needs to be dealt with. But that's as far as like government websites that should be secret. The one that always throws me for a loop is that if you want to know something about geography, like in terms of like, oh, what's a country's primary export? What's the GDP of a certain country or something? You know what the best website to go to is to like find that stuff out?
Wikipedia.
No, the CIA website.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you go to CIA.gov and they've got yeah. You can go to CIA.gov and they've got a thing called the CIA World Factbook. And it's just sort of like all the quote unquote boring bits of intelligence that's like super easy to get, because it's like, you don't have to bug a room, you don't have to like get a spy into an embassy. It's like it's all the shit that governments will actively tell you just for free, and they went, okay, well that's still intelligence. We'll gather all of that, but like it's the boring stuff that's not, it's not the spicy stuff. So we'll just put that out and like give that to the ordinary people, and they can go, ooh, the CIA told me that like, the primary export of this country is corn or whatever. Like, ooh, yeah.
All that shit's on Wikipedia as well.
Yeah.
Where do you think Wikipedia gets it from?
Well, I know. But like, if you go to like any country on Wikipedia, there's like this huge detailed analysis of like the entire country underneath like the top section, and it's GDP, population based on the last census, like all this shit. But the CIA is just like, we got that information.
Yeah,
come to our website.
I'm on this website, and the most exciting thing that my eye was immediately drawn to within 2 seconds of opening it was the last tab on the right is called Spy Kids.
Yeah. They got a whole kids section.
I love it.
Yeah. They have a whole section of their website for kids.
Oh, this is so exciting.
Yeah.
It's not a review of the Robert Rodriguez classic Spy Kids.
Oh,
how dare
I want that on the CIA website. How dare they?
I mean, if it was a review of the Robert Rodriguez classic Spy Kids, it would probably be a supremely favorable one, because I honestly would not be surprised if you follow the money of who financed Spy Kids, if you found out there was a CIA like shell company financing that. Wouldn't be the first time.
Oh, I'm on the website right now. This feels wrong.
I know, right? It feels like you're just inviting them to like take a pic around your hard drive.
Oh, it even says spy dogs. No, but like it just feels like that kind of like, oh my God, that weird indoctrination of like, because like right now, okay, the dumbest thing happening right now is the army on Twitch trying to recruit people, and they're not even being like,
I know,
about it. It's really bad.
So bad.
And this is kind of similar. Oh my God, they've made a little animated cartoon called "Making of a CIA Spy Dog." Oh, I don't like it. I don't like it. It feels weird.
Oh my God.
Thanks,
oh my God.
It.
Dude, the CIA has their own like AMA section, and it's called Ask Molly.
Why do intelligence agencies have websites? This is so stupid.
Because, well, but I mean, the CIA also has a Twitter account @CIA. Like you don't even have to go to the website anymore.
Wow. Like that's like the entire point of like, because I'm sure there was a certain point back when the CIA was called the OSS that no one was like able to confirm that it existed. It had to be a secret thing. And then Cold War comes around, like World War II ends, Cold War comes around all of a sudden. And let's think, like, if you had to get recruited to the CIA, at least this is what movies have told me. I don't know if this is true, but you had to be like either ex-military or a pretty damn good cop or detective, and then you had to get recruited in secret by people that were already part of the government to be in the CIA.
And they always had a briefcase.
Exactly. They always had a briefcase and always had something in it that would self-destruct after reading or listening to it. But now you can just go on the goddamn website and it'd be like, apply for the CIA. This doesn't make me feel safe.
Well, good thing it's not our intelligence agency,
Like
right?
you shouldn't be able to apply for an intelligence agency the same way you apply for a job at a supermarket. That's all I'm saying. There should be some sort of barrier to entry here.
Or maybe maybe it's a front, and if you're unsuccessful, they just send your resume to a supermarket.
Well,
So
I mean,
it's the ultimate job hunt. You go to the CIA, and they're like, yeah, nah, just talk to someone else.
It really feels like now that's like the 2 levels of job in America, because like, economy's fucked. All the middle jobs are just gone or at home, and it's like you can either be a spy or work at the supermarket. Those are the 2 things you can do right now.
I'll tell you what, the CIA's getting pretty progressive though, because one of the top articles is CIA senior leaders discuss smart women, smart power, and it's all about the CIA's commitment to diversity and inclusion. So it's nice to know that they'll let anybody become a spy. Anybody of all shapes and sizes and genders.
I feel so validated. I can now be a spy, guys.
Yeah. We could, which like. I'm kind of wondering what the CIA was doing beforehand, because, like, okay, let's say, right, you want to spy on, North Korea, all right? That's the thing that people want to spy on. Who were they sending to spy on North Korea in the 50s when they weren't diverse and inclusive? Like, were they sending, like, Bob Bale, right, from like from like Kentucky, and they're like, and he rocks up to North Korea and he's like, "Hey guys, how you going? I'm just like you."
John, you're forgetting the point that white men can fit in anywhere if they don't try.
That's right. You just rock up into the middle of Pyongyang and all these North Koreans are like, "Yeah, he's one of us. Oh, for sure. Yeah, he's a North Korean.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Fine. Yeah, you forget about it. White men have that air about them where they belong everywhere.
That's what I mean. Like, I feel like of all government agencies, wouldn't a spy agency be like really like diverse and inclusive, because you want people of all sorts of shapes and sizes to like infiltrate everywhere all over the world, where there's people of all different varieties all over the world. Like, it's just. Yeah.
Now, all you need is a white man.
Yeah, that's it. That's all you needed. I don't know what the fuck.
It's the ultimate toolkit. You only need a tool belt with one tool. The white man.
Yeah, I suppose it's a good thing though that like, yeah. So there you go. That's the CIA is like super progressive, and that's great. Like at least you know that the government agency that's actively spying on you and like taking all your data and like sifting through it without your permission and looking at you through your webcam, at least the guy on the other side is like, they'll let anybody be that person on the other side.
Your friendly neighborhood white man.
Yeah, they don't discriminate on who they're going to hire to spy on you. So
CIA, if you're listening, please don't investigate us.
No, I've been to their website before. I'm pretty sure they've already had a poke through and been like, "Oh, this is just some dickhead who makes mum and fart jokes." Like, he's fine.
This is always the thing that I come back to with like all that people freaking out that the government has your details and whatever. What are people searching that they're so worried about people seeing? Like, unless you're searching shit that you shouldn't be searching, you don't really have that much to worry about, to be honest. Like, who are you? Nobody. For the most part. I never understood, like, and I get it's a breach of my privacy and whatever. Blah, blah, blah. Guess what? The government gets to look at all the weird porn that I look at, and then my online shopping. That's about all I do on the internet right now. Good for them.
Yeah, I like to think that the government gets a nicely curated, playlist of pornography when they spy on me. They're like, "Ooh, oh, look at this!" I introduce them to a whole new world of weirdness.
He's in this mood today. Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah,
have you guys seen The Good Place?
I watched one episode and I have.
Well, okay, like in one of the episodes, there's a guy who gets like they have desks for like a bunch of weird human decisions, and there's one guy at a desk that gets just a list of all the random like sexual stuff. Like, is this sexual? Is this a porn? And then he's like, I'm so confused. What is this? So that's probably the CIA guy.
Oh, so they've got their own Rule 34 guy. It's like, is this Rule 34? And he's got to sit there and like really hammer it out and be like, oh my god.
Pretty much, yeah. Like, is this bad or is this okay? Like,
oh my god.
It's all bad and it's all okay.
yeah.
That is the ruling with Rule 34. It's all bad, but it's all okay.
It's okay.
There's
Safe space.
Yeah.
It's also one of those things where it's sort of like it becomes difficult to like, you know, like if you're trying to like come up with some form of hyperbole relating to like, you know, something like sexual, like you go, you could come up with literally anything. Like I used to make the joke about bicycle porn, just being like, that's so ridiculous. Nobody would actually do that until, you know, one day, like, you know, the great algorithms that be heard me making bicycle porn jokes and was like, hey bro, do you like actually like bicycle porn? Because here's some bicycle porn. And I was like, hold the phone. This exists. This is a real thing. Oh my, I can't make jokes about this anymore. It's a real thing. Like somebody actually got paid to do the thing.
If you look hard enough.
I didn't even have to look very hard. Like the internet just served it up to me one day and was like, here you go, bro. And I was like, what? I mean, of course I clicked on it because I had to see what the, like, how the fuck that works. Because I never thought very much harder beyond random word with porn. And that was it. That was as far as my thought ever went. But somebody decided to take that thought and like run with it. So I had to see where they ran with it. Jeez, Lou. Oh my God. Yeah, it's actually kind of boring. I feel like it wasn't very well executed. I'm like, okay, I get it. Like, you put a dick on it and you called that porn. Like, yeah, all right. You know, I feel like we could have done more with this idea, but you know, I mean, it's a living. Yeah, that's all I got to say on it. I was disappointed. You know, I'm not mad. I'm disappointed. I feel like
that's like the worst thing to be, though.
Yeah. It was a bit of a, especially considering it was Japanese as well. It's sort of like, come on, guys. I know you can do better than this. Like, you know, when you can get real freaky when you want to be. Like, come on, let's put a bit more effort in. And no.
Yeah, I can confirm.
Yeah.
Seeing Japanese sex stores and how many there are and how tall they are is insane.
The thing is that I never went into a Japanese sex store. I did see the front of one and I was like, I am not going in there. But you don't even have to go into a Japanese sex store to be in a Japanese sex store. I went into an electronics store, not electronics, like a Japanese version of like a JB Hi-Fi, right? Yeah. Where it was like all sorts of DVDs and games and CDs and stuff. And it was great because like I went into their CD section and they had like all the Final Fantasy soundtrack. And I was like, fantastic, because my mum was super into the Final Fantasy soundtracks. So I bought a Final Fantasy 7 on CD. I was like, fantastic. And then you go literally like from that CD section, I went one aisle over and the floor changed from like some boring, I don't know, lino, you know, kind of like a boring grey, commercial grade, you know, lino to pink. And I was like, oh, okay. It's a pink floor. That's kind of cool. Like I didn't think much of it. And then you look up and it's all porn. Just all porn as far as the eye can see.
Yeah, I made that mistake also. I went last year, went into a bookstore and I was looking for like English manga so I could buy some. And this store was like down some stairs, like in a basement, and they had so many books. It was insane, like figurines and stuff. And I was just looking along the shelves and my boyfriend was like, Jordan, stop. I'm like, but I want to fight. He's like, look up. I had unwittingly walked into the hentai section. And I'm like, oh. And he's like, did you want to come back? And I'm like, yes, sorry. And the person at the desk, who was obviously at the sales desk in that part of the store, looked at me and I kind of looked at him and I kind of just backed away. Like, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to be here.
I've got an even more awkward story than that. I was at another shop and because this was back when I was on a work trip and I was out in what's the name of it? Akihabara. That's the electric town. That's where all like the arcades and stuff are. Akihabara? Is that it?
Akihabara.
Yeah. So I was there and like honest to God, like I was there with me. It was me, a couple of my coworkers, my boss's wife, and their son. And their son was like, I think 10 or 11 at the time. And basically, like, basically I was like put in charge of looking after the kid, which is fine by me. It was like, whatever. Like, he and I got on pretty well. So it was like, okay. And we're just going to like walk around and look at shit anyway. And we literally left the train station and just walked into the first shop that we came across. And it was like an anime shop. And it had like Final Fantasy VII figurines and Batman figurines and like figurines just everywhere. It's like, cool. And so, we're looking through the shelves and they've got these beautiful little square display cases with all the figurines in them. And there's like dudes from animes I've never even heard of and stuff like that. And so just walking along, and this was the cabinet we came across. So in the cabinet is a little figurine of Buzz Lightyear, right? In his full like little helmet and all of it, to infinity and beyond and all the rest of it. And right next to the Buzz Lightning figurine was an anime lady with just the largest set of breasts I've ever seen. Just unbelievably huge. Like, it's just it defied the laws of physics. But there they were, standing next to each other, just like hanging out, being like, how you going? And the only reason why I knew they were there is because they were pointed out to me by the 10-year-old kid that was standing next to me. And he's like, John, I think we've stumbled into the wrong section. And I'm like, what? Oh my God. And then I look around and no, we're not. We're not in the hentai section. We're still in the ordinary, boring section because right next to it is another Dragon Ball figurine and stuff like that. And of course, who comes around the corner at this exact moment? My boss, his father. It's like, oh great. So how do I explain this? I thought, fuck, I'm kind of boned here. What do I do? And I went, you know what? I've just got to take the high road. And I went, okay. And I said, well, you see, boy, we're in a different culture and they have different ideas towards what's considered normal and what's considered acceptable and what isn't. And we have a different idea because we're from a different country and we're from a different culture. And so, this is part of coming into another country's culture is understanding. And like, that's basically, I just went full on academic with it. I was just like, I just thought I've got to play this straight or I'm totally fucked. And you know what happened? My boss looks at me and just goes and like sees the boobs, giggles, nods at me and leaves. Oh, but
I always love the good old like curt nod, like, yeah, this is fine.
Yeah, no, because he looks and he goes, because he was like, I'm glad I didn't have to have that conversation. So, yeah, it was sort of like he was like glad that I got to have that awkward encounter and not me, like not him. So like he kind of outsourced that and he was pretty happy about it. At least that's how it seemed. We never spoke on it again. But he did buy me a Super Mario Bros. Pocket watch, so that's cool. I think that was my reward for that.
I was expecting you to say, but he did buy me that statue.
Yeah.
Oh no, I bought that statue. Absolutely. Oh yeah, okay, yeah. 100%. I bought that statue. Absolutely. Glad. Yeah, but I paid for that with my own money. I wasn't going to make my boss pay for that because that would have been just uncouth. Oh my God. Yeah.
Those anime titties are for me.
Yeah.
My anime titties, no one else's.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I wasn't gonna claim that one on the company credit card. Because that would have been a little bit difficult. Like, even though it was easy enough to explain to a 10-year-old, it's a little bit more difficult to explain to the tax man.
This is my
just Japanese
cultural investigation.
Yeah. So when you get audited by the tax man, he's like, so I see you've made a deduction here of I think it was about $30 for what Japanese cultural artifact. Yep. I just need to confirm that you've actually got this thing. There's been a bit of fraud going around recently. Can I view the artifact?
Sure.
Yeah. Okay.
Here's one I said earlier.
Yeah.
No, I never leave home without my anime titties.
Yeah.
Oh, God damn it.
Which is a phrase that I never thought I'd ever say, but here we are.
Yeah, here we are. It's 2020. Life's a bit strange.
Anything goes.
Anime titties make everything better.
I agree.
Yeah. I actually have something right now.
Yeah.
I have a movie review.
Oh my God, what?
Yeah. Aside from obviously
What?
Hamilton, I have a movie review right now.
Holy fuck! Stop the press.
I completely forgot that I watched it this week, but it's a brand new is subjective. It was released at Sundance last year, but it finally got released on Hulu. It's called Palm Springs.
Is that the one with Andy Samberg?
Andy Samberg and Christine Milot. I can't remember how to say her last name. The mother from How I Met Your Mother. It's the two of them. I watched it this week. If anyone can track it down, if you've got Hulu or if you can track it down some other way that doesn't require you to have Hulu, I highly recommend watching this movie.
You can get Hulu in Australia, can't you? Weren't they offering an Australian version?
Pretty sure you can.
There's like a hulu.com.au.
Because that's definitely how I watched it.
Yeah.
But
here it is. Yeah, start your free trial. I don't know.
There you go.
Or is that? Or maybe I'm on the American website. It's not geo-blocking. It's not automatically redirecting me. .au. Here we go. Let's see what this is.
It's really good.
Palm Springs.
If you can track down this movie, it's really hard because it's one of those movies where, like, I would recommend going in not seeing the trailer, not knowing a goddamn thing about, like anything about it going into it. It's one of those ones that's just like, the less you know, the more rewarding the experience is going to be watching this movie. It is just, it's fucking delightful. Is the best way I can sort of describe it. Clearly my movie reviewing chops are a bit rusty. It's a bit annoying, but I just, if you love Andy Samberg, which let's face it, how could you not? He's just so beautiful.
Yeah, who doesn't love Andy Samberg? Yeah,
exactly. But he's really good in this. He kind of plays against type for a change, which is kind of cool to see him do. It's still a very Samberg performance, but it's just a little bit of a twist on what he would usually be like. And yeah, it's just a really surprisingly good, considering what the premise is, comedy that ends up with a fair bit of heart at the end, which you always want a comedy to do. It needs a bit of heart, needs a bit of ticker, needs you to feel a bit of something. But yeah, I really just want to give like a little bit of the. No, I don't want to do it. If you've seen the trailer, honestly, seeing the trailer is seeing too much. Like, you want to go in as blind as possible to this movie. It's about two people that meet at a wedding, and then stuff happens. It's really, really hard to not give away anything about this movie, but it's about Andy Samberg and Christine it's Melotti or Melotti. Oh, I can't remember. Whatever. They meet at a wedding.
It's Kristen Miliotti.
Miliotti? Yeah. Okay. Christine Miliotti. Her and Andy Samberg meet at her sister's wedding. They hook up. And then the movie's kind of, from that point on, you get the real meat and potatoes of what this movie's about, and it just goes from there. But it's about them sort of trying to work out if all life has meaning or whether any of their choices that they make in life actually have any consequences. And they kind of start to live in that frame of mind for a little while after meeting at this wedding. And it's just, it's like, there's genuine laugh out loud moments, which a lot of comedies for me don't really have anymore. So there are a couple of moments here where I was like pissing myself laughing on the couch, which is great. Like, I need movies like that in my life right now. So it delivered in that, and it's just it's really well done. It's a really well crafted story. So check it out. Palm Springs. It is one of the only things getting released right now. There are a few movies that have been released. Most of them still stuck behind some sort of paywall, whether it's on Hulu or you have to buy it off. Like, I know, what was it? The one I really want to watch.
I heard Mulan's going to be behind a paywall.
$30.
$30 in addition to Disney Plus.
Yeah, like what the like? I mean, people were absolutely freaking out about it, but for me, it's like it seems no different than like because Amazon Prime offers like you can watch movies on Amazon Prime stream, or there are certain titles that they'll only let you rent, and you got to pay for like on top of the fact, and it just seems like that, but like at an egregious price. Like, I mean, rentals on Amazon Prime are like $5, and it's like okay, you go to the video shop, and that's what it costs. But like,
I think the idea is is it like one pay and it's just unlocked forever, or is it you have to pay for it each time?
I think it's one pay. I think it's one pay and then unlock. But I understand why they're doing it because they've lost millions of dollars on this movie.
I kind of get that like $30 to see this movie is kind of what they're expecting this to be like a mum, a dad, and a kid or multiple kids watching this at the same time. You know what I mean? Like, so this like Mulan's the kind of movie you would take like maybe not your like young children to, but this like it feels like it's a bit more adult. So maybe like your 8 to 12 or 8 to 13-year-olds.
Definitely 20s. Yeah.
So like, imagine a family, you'd be paying like $25 for 4 people. So
yeah, probably more.
Probably more.
Yeah.
As opposed to $30 to then watch it on your couch.
Yeah, that seems like for like someone like me who just like I kind of want to watch it because it's a Disney film. I got to pay $30 for me to watch it by myself. Whereas like a family is like, well, we've already got Disney Plus, we're paying extra $30, but there's 4 of us or 5 of us sitting down to watch it, which isn't that bad of a deal. So I get it from that aspect. But it just seems like exorbitant compared to the fact that like Disney Plus is still, I believe, the most reasonably priced streaming service out there, considering like the content that they have compared to how much you're paying a month is insane. Like to have it still be sub $10 and you have Marvel, Disney, Nat Geo, Star Wars, and Pixar isn't insane to me.
It's worth paying the price to watch The Mandalorian alone.
Yeah. And so many people like once they watch that just got rid of it. I'm just like, why?
No,
every episode of The Simpsons is on there. You crazy people.
They have that Jeff Goldblum show that is awesome. I love Jeff Goldblum.
Yeah, and now it's got Hamilton on there, and the new Black is King Beyonce music film thing is on there as well. So they got heaps of stuff, but yeah, to have that as sub $10 price is insane. But it does seem like a lot when you're paying less than $10 a month for all of that, and then they're like, "Hey, here's one movie. Give us $30 to watch." And by the way, that is $30 American. We have no idea, like whatever the exchange rate's going to be here, going to be more than that for Australia.
Probably like 45.
Or
probably something ridiculous like that, yeah, which is going to be really hard to part with for me in my head, being like, it's one movie.
Well, it depends, like, because they might do what Steam does and allow and have regional pricing. So they might, because you think about it, like, I mean, that sounds pretty egregious when you convert from the American dollar to the Aussie dollar. But like, I mean, but like, if you compare it to an even weaker currency against the American dollar, then the price becomes even more egregious, especially once you then factor in the effective buying power of that currency as well. So like it might cost $40 here, but it might cost like $80 or $90 in like Russia where the ruble's in the tank. So it could cost even more. But if you allowed regional pricing and you went, okay, nobody in like India is going to pay, the equivalent of $30 to see this thing. Like, but we might be able to, charge the equivalent of, say, 15 or 10 or $15 for this thing, and we might be able to get people to pay for it over there. And because the whole thing's geo-blocked and region-locked and stuff like that, and it's all on one service, you can control it, like, you might be able to make it all work.
Yeah, I'm hoping they do something like that here because the actual difference in price between, like, the Australian dollar or the Australian amount and the American amount is actually only like $1 or $2 different. Like we're only paying, I think it's like $9 or $8 Australian compared to America, who are paying like $7 American, and that exchange rate does not match up. So we're kind of getting it a bit cheaper than what they are, even though we're paying more of our own dollars for it. So I'm hoping that it's maybe only like 30 Australian or like $35 Australian to get people to like to buy it. Because if you do like a direct exchange rate, and like our dollars in the tank right now, so it would be like $40 to $45 for one film, where compared that to like, that's like almost 6 months of your whole Disney Plus subscription in one go for one film.
Yeah.
It's one
A lot of
film that
people-
doesn't even have the "I'll make a man out of you" in it, so I
Yeah.
wouldn't even do that. Yeah.
Although apparently, because the Mulan is real tricky because it was about to be released right ahead of the shutdown,
Yeah.
and so there was already review screenings for it. So a lot of the reviewers have already seen it, and it's already got like a score on Rotten Tomatoes. I'm pretty sure, and apparently it's really good. So, like that's the thing with all these other movies that got delayed, like Black Widow, like Tenet, all that. No one's seen them yet. There hasn't been any review copies released. No one got to go see it. Got to go to preview screenings for them, so no one knows if these movies are fantastic or not. But with Mulan, people have seen it, and the general consensus is it's a really, really good adaptation of not only the Disney property but also the original Chinese legend that it's kind of based off of. So I really want to see it, but I don't know how much I'm willing to pay for the privilege of seeing it on my couch rather than going to a cinema with the big screen and the popcorn and the drinks and all that sort of stuff. So
I feel that 100%.
yeah.
Because I'm like, I'll totally watch it, but if I have to pay $40, I'm not watching it.
Yeah, that's a bit steep for one person. But like something like Tenet, I will literally give Christopher Nolan my kidney if I can just see that movie tomorrow. Even though like no one else has seen it, no one knows it's any good or not, but it's Christopher Nolan and it's weird time bending physics with guns. Give it to me, put it into my veins, and let me experience it right now. But
Hey, I just looked up Mulan on Rotten Tomatoes.
yeah,
It says that there's no reviews up for it.
oh, maybe they embargo the reviews.
I have a feeling because it says no consensus yet. Tomato meter.
Yeah, because
release date August 21st.
Yeah,
so
I know
they've taken
people
it down.
I know people have seen it, and I know the impression is that it's really good. So maybe they've embargoed the reviews, and they're not like they're probably like on the Rotten Tomatoes site, but they're not been released yet.
Yeah, that's what I think too. Because I have definitely seen it.
Yeah, because I remember like it was February or something, and a lot of the movie reviewers that I follow on Twitter and that they can like announce how they felt about the movie coming right out of it. They can't like do their review yet, and across the board, it was uniformly like it's really good, super positive. Everyone loved it. So, yeah, I feel like they're just holding that back until the movie comes out. But anyway, go watch Palm Springs. It's really good. It's really, really good. It's definitely not this kind of movie you can watch with the Mulan crowd. It's definitely R-rated. It's definitely R-rated. But it is just it's stupid to say this, but it's my favorite movie of the year so far. Just beat out Sonic. I'm sorry.
Oh no!
I know. The funniest thing right now is this coming award season, like the Oscars and shit, all that next year. It's gonna have to be either the 5 movies we got released in January, February, or they're gonna have to lift their like bullshit on streaming services. So it's gonna be like all these Netflix, Amazon, Disney Plus, like all these movies that have been released on alternate platforms are finally going to get legitimacy because of this stupid pandemic.
In fact, you can't have one picture really in the award for Best Picture.
Yeah, well, it's going to depends what actually gets released between now and December, and whether any of that is actually going to be released to cinemas. Because have you guys heard what they're doing with Tenet? It's actually getting released in Europe and overseas before it gets released anywhere else because they've done a good job with lockdown. So they get a present. That present is fucking Tenet. And the States aren't getting it until they get their numbers down, which I think is brilliant because it's like, well, fuck you, get your numbers down. And everyone else that's doing a good job, they get the movie early, which basically means that Victoria isn't getting it until we get our numbers down and fucking I think New South and Queensland and WA are getting it like way before we do, which makes me angry, but it's fine. We deserve it.
I mean,
think about how satisfying it'll be when you finally watch it.
No, I know. I'm so looking forward to this movie. It God damn it, I love Christopher Nolan so much. But yeah, it's going to be a case of they're basically like staggering the release everywhere based on how you've handled the virus. Can cinemas be open in your area like with relative safety? If the answer is yes, guess what? You Tenet. If not, too bad. Suck it up.
No Tenet for you.
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of like incentive to like get your shit together so you can watch the cool Christopher Nolan movie because he will not release it to streaming. He has been adamant the entire time. Like Warner Brothers have been like, we could do it to stream. He's like, no, this has to be seen on a big screen with the sound and the popcorn and the everything in the IMAX. Because he shot the whole thing in IMAX cameras.
Yeah.
And whenever he does that, I have to go to IMAX to see them because that's how he was supposed to be seen. Like, I saw Dunkirk in IMAX. The minute it came out on Blu-ray, I bought the Blu-ray, went home and was like, I can't watch this on my 55-inch screen because I've seen it on an IMAX screen. It won't be the same anymore. So I've not watched it since I bought it on Blu-ray, which makes me real sad. But, yeah, fucking Tenet.
Would that even make an impact though on awards stuff? Because isn't there? I mean, it'd make a difference on some of them, but like, isn't there one of the awards where like, in order to be considered, it has to get a release in Los Angeles?
Yeah, that's the Oscars. It has to be released theatrically for at least a week. That's why stuff like last year, The Irishman had like a 2-week run in cinemas in America.
Well, Netflix has its own cinema at Los Angeles where they run that stuff to get their movies in consideration. Yeah,
and it ran at a bunch of other. It ran at a few cinemas in Los Angeles just to like make sure it got consideration. But yeah, like that's why you will have a bunch of especially smaller art housey stuff that's not going to get a huge audience anywhere but streaming now. They will do a run in December, like really late, but only in the States, just to get consideration for the Oscars that year, because they don't want to wait another whole year. So yeah, there's a bunch of movies last year got released in the States. I was real shitty because like I wanted them to be released here, and we didn't get an art house release here, and I had to wait whatever it was, and then half of them got pushed because of Corona. So now I've had to like hunt them down on streaming sites, and half of them don't have them in Australia, or I've got to go to a VPN, and it's just so much effort just to find a goddamn movie these days. But they are out there. I'm gonna like do a comprehensive like rundown maybe this week, and then come back next week of like every movie that's been released this year, what streaming service it is on, and like how to get to it or how to find it. Because I have been looking around, and like after like seeing a brand new piece of like content with Palm Springs, I'm really in the mood of like, okay, I'm going to do like a fucking comprehensive list of like everything that has been released in the last like 4 to 5 months, where it is, how to get to it, and whether it's worth watching or not. So the next one off my list is King of Staten Island, which Judd Apatow and what's his face?
Pete Davidson,
thank you. Apparently it's amazing. Need to hunt it down. Got to figure out what it's on. It's probably going to be on Google Play for like $20. If that's the case, so be it. But yeah, so I'm going to like hunt down all these movies that have been released and try to like, I have noticed that there are like 2 or 3 Zoom horror movies. I'm going to skip those.
Yeah.
But it took me like literally no time at all to like make a Zoom horror movie, which I respect the hustle, but I don't need that. I don't need that in my life.
Yeah, if I'm going to watch a Zoom horror movie, I don't think I'd watch one until like maybe the end of next year, because then at least you know that there was like not because it's sort of like, oh, it's too real. It's sort of like, then you know that like the screenwriter has had time to actually sit down and formulate an idea and write a script and like talk to people and have meetings, and like, you know, there was actual production involved, and not some guy shot upright in bed and was like, Zoom horror movie, make it right now, and then just like gathered up a bunch of his buddies at like 3 a.m. and then shot the thing in an hour, you know. So yeah,
like I said, I respect the hustle, but
oh, for sure. I respect the hustle, but like it's sort of like, I'm not going to watch that. It's sort of like, you know, take it back to the cutting room floor, spend a little time polishing it, do some pickups, do some reshoots, maybe even actually write a script, and then I'll consider it. But with that, I think we'll leave it there for today. So I want to thank my guests, Ricki Needs and JJ. Thank you.
That's okay.
Thanks, John.
And if you like what you heard, please tell 2 friends in 2020. It really helps us out a lot. Hopefully there was a lot here for you. You know, I mean, it's a very educational episode. We tend to kind of move around. Sometimes we just talk absolute shit, and then sometimes you actually learn things. Like, you know, next time you want to reference a fact that's on Wikipedia, good chance it came from the CIA World Factbook, so you can reference that. And also, that's a really cool reference to have on your essay. You know, it's sort of like, how did you find out about, you know, Ghana's primary export? CIA.gov. That's a pretty good reference. You know, who's going to know about it? The spies. And then also, yeah, Palm Springs, solid recommendation. I'm looking at the movie poster right now. It's a really pretty poster. I really like the job they've done with it. Although Andy Samberg's foot's a little bit like, okay, it's pretty obvious they photoshopped the water in, but like, you know, that's it. That's the only pick. Oh, right. And
hang on. I think I know the movie poster you're thinking of.
I'm looking at it. It's the one that's on the IMDb page.
Yeah.
It's a good poster. I like it.
Yeah, I know. There is a slight hint to what's going on in the movie in that movie poster, but I won't tell you where it is.
Okay.
It's really, and like once you've seen the movie, you'll be like, that is fucking clever as hell. But yeah, it's so subtle in this. But yeah, when you watch the movie, you'll understand what I mean by that movie poster. Just it hides the thing. The thing about this movie is hidden in that movie poster.
Right. Okay.
Really clever. It's really clever.
Right. Okay. Well, that's the clue then, everybody. Go and look at the Palm Springs poster and then go and watch the movie.
Try to work out what the thing is, then go see the movie, then come back to the poster and be like, oh.
It'll make sense now.
It's clever. It's real clever.
All right. Well, there's a fun little activity. All right. Cool. Yeah. I'm into that. All right. Sweet. All right. And if you wanna listen to more Pint Party, of course, we're on Spotify, we're on iTunes, we're everywhere you like to listen to podcasts. Be sure to hit subscribe. It really helps us out a lot. You can follow our gimmicks on Twitter at Pint Party or on Instagram at pint.party. And if you want more Pint Party goodness, specifically from me, I'm streaming on Twitch most days, 4 days a week, from Thursday to Sunday, on twitch.tv/Pint Party. Thursdays and Fridays, I'm playing Final Fantasy XII: The Zodiac Age, which is should be renamed to I can't believe it's not Star Wars, and because it really is, honest to God, like it's Star Wars in the Final Fantasy universe. That's straight up what it is. And then on Saturdays and Sundays, I kind of play some different things. The schedule's going to change because I want to start streaming Horizon Zero Dawn, but I also have to like buy it and download it and stuff. And at the time of recording, it hasn't come out yet. But I also stream Minecraft as well, just to keep that as a chill stream. If you're looking for something to like kind of put on in the background on your weekends, that's always a good one. What else is there? Oh, right. And we have a YouTube channel. If you just search Pint Party on YouTube, you can find everything all there. The podcast, the stream archive, all of it there. And there's hundreds of hours of content now up there. If you're looking for something to like put on and binge listen or put on in the background to have as white noise, if my natterings are your ASMR trigger, there is oodles and oodles and oodles of content there for you to go buck wild with. And with that, this has been Pint Party. Cheers.
Cheers.
This podcast is part of the Heart Effect Podcast Network. For more of this and our other podcasts, head to hearteffectstudios.com.au.